care, we know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
All right, it is time for Auto Repair with Personal Care, and your host is Matt Gibbs. He's here ready to answer questions about your cars, your trucks, your lawnmowers, your motorcycles. Well, maybe not your lawnmowers. Your boats, maybe your boats. Matt is the owner of Sunrise Automotive, and if you need a new car and just say, you know what, I'm tired of fixing this thing, I'm going to get a new one, Matt has some really good used cars in his car lot, which is called Crossroad Auto Sales. And if you have a question for Matt about any of the things I've just mentioned, or maybe something I didn't mention, 622-9622 is the number. Good morning, Matt.
Morning, Larry.
You know what works in my car?
What works?
My heater.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I said to Robin, I would rather have a heater that works and an air conditioner that doesn't than the other way around.
I want both.
Well, ultimately I do. But I do have 3 windows that go down. So, in the summer, I can cool down a little bit. I can create a nice... I've learned how to create a good circulation of air. If I open the right... Well, if I have to open the right 2 all the way and the back 1 just a little bit, and it'll create a nice circle of air.
Okay.
Just got to be careful I don't have any mail, because it'll blow right out. Or plastic bags. You ever have that?
Yeah.
The floating plastic bag that all gets sucked out the window.
Sounds like you just swallowed it.
Yeah, it was goes right out the window. I hate that because I'm always afraid it's going to actually, land on a motorcycle helmet or something, and I'm just worried. I'm always worried that something. I don't understand how people throw things out the windows anyway. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't make sense to me either.
How can you not hold on to something just till you get to the next place?
I know. Just stop it. Just when you stop and get some gas or something, just throw it in the trash.
Yeah. Anyway, so how are you?
I'm doing good.
Anything that the cold is? It's probably short-lived cold, but anything that the cold typically brings out in a car?
Batteries.
Really?
Yeah, we'll replace. Matter of fact, we're getting into battery season. I don't know why.
And do you say it that way on a reason? Is there a reason?
Whenever it gets cold like this, and then like.
But why do you say batteries? Like
batteries? It's just batteries. They're getting so expensive, and they don't make them any better. And
nobody wants to buy them.
No. It's like if you break down on the side of the road, it's like they'll call me up and they'll start talking to me about, well, have it towed here. Oh my God, tow it? I gotta tow my car? Tow it? I gotta tow my car? Tow it? You can't come out and fix it? Just tow it? Tow it? It's nobody ever wants their car towed, and it's not that it's that expensive,
Here's the irony. Are you ready for this? Somebody will gladly pay $300 for a new stereo in their car,
right?
Which doesn't make it go, but they don't want to pay $100 for a battery.
I know,
which does make it go.
I know, and they don't want to tow it either, ever. People do not want to tow their car.
Towing is not a problem for you. You know why?
Why?
It's part of my insurance package.
And there you have it. That's all I ask. Even if they have AAA, they still don't want to tow their car.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know why. It's like that. There's nothing worse than that could happen to your car that it needs to be towed.
Oh no.
And people hate having their cars towed, and they hate replacing
So they want
the
you to leave the garage and go to where they are and put in a battery.
Or whatever. Look at this or look at that or whatever.
Do you know what I just redid my insurance, and one of the things I have on my policy is that the tow truck guy will bring out some gasoline if I run out of gas. Mm-hmm. I bet you the tow truck guy hates doing that.
Well, they get paid for it. The insurance company will pay them, because if you have towing on your insurance, a lot of it is roadside assistance too. So if you have a flat, they'll come out and they'll change your flat, or if you run out of gas, or if you need a jump or whatever. But the tow companies get compensated for those calls.
Okay, and you have a call. Speaking of calls, good morning. You're on the air with Matt.
Yeah, good morning, Matt.
Morning.
See, I get a kick. My wife's got a 2012 Nissan Rogue, and it's parked in the garage. I got a big thermometer in the garage, and overnight in the morning, it stays around 60 degrees at the lowest. son of a gun, Saturday morning, guess what? The battery's dead. And, I mean, like, we're from Wisconsin. You know, when it gets cold up there, I can understand batteries going bad, but not in a 60-degree garage. So, anyways, I called the dealer, and they gave me the number of who services them, a tow truck or a start. And the guy came out and started the battery, and then she drove it over to the dealership, and they replaced the battery with a 72-month battery.
Right.
And we looked up the price on those things, and they're pushing $170.
I know.
Unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
But her battery was under warranty, so it was no problem. But I couldn't believe how more expensive batteries have gotten.
Yeah, the price of even like you know, we have guys that come in and they want our old stuff, you know, our old metal and salvage guys.
Oh, okay.
We call them core guys. You know, they come in, they buy your old water pumps and your old AC compressors. Well, this guy came in and he was looking for batteries, and I had an old electric forklift. It was an electric forklift, so it had a huge battery.
Yeah.
So I said to the guy, I said, "What will you give me for this battery in this forklift?" Because I couldn't afford to replace the battery in it. A new one was $5,000. So
my goodness.
So I said, "What will you give me for this bad battery?" He gave me $1,700 for a used battery in a forklift.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I mean, the lead.
What'd you do with the forklift?
I scrapped the rest of it.
Oh, okay.
And I sold the battery.
Wow.
Yeah. See, I got another real quick question.
Okay.
On that Nissan Rogue, she's got they changed the battery, and she comes home. She says, "There's a little thing on my dash that's lit up. It says Sport." And I got the manual out, and it says if you want to use Sport, there's a little button on the console next to you that you press the button and it lights up on the dash saying Sport. And I guess it gives you a little extra lift or drive or a different ride or something. Can you explain that to me?
Well, you pretty much explained it to me. The Sport part of it is if, let's say, you guys were off road somewhere. And you're going over some rougher terrain. It beefs up. Sometimes, like on the new Jeeps, it actually raises the vehicle like 6 inches off the ground, so it gives you more ground clearance.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, so sometimes they'll actually lift a vehicle. Sometimes they'll harden up your suspension. It really depends on what Sport package you have. What is that Sport package? What is it? What does it affect? Yeah, it may just affect, suspension. Most, it's all going to be about the suspension of the vehicle.
Okay.
And it'll probably
after they changed the battery at the dealership, the wife noticed that little light doesn't go off when you press that button; it stays on. So I called the dealer this morning. The lady on the phone, she just makes your appointment, and she didn't know nothing about it. Just bring it in. What do you think something happened with like the computer when they changed the battery?
Yeah, it probably went to some kind of default setting, or it triggered some kind of a code because it wasn't getting the proper voltage or whatever. So they'll probably just go in there, clear it, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah. Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Wow, it actually lifts the car. And that sounds like a good idea, actually. But those cars that can bounce, you see the cars bouncing? What is that?
It's hydraulics.
So it's just how much do those kids pay for that stuff?
Oh, my gosh. Some of these kids pay
a lot of
serious money.
Just for the car to bounce.
Yeah. Or they get them to bounce, but they can lift each four corners of the car. They can jack that one up, lower this one down.
Right.
It's just it's just a fad, something that they ride horrible though. To drive the car is horrible.
Do you know what I was thinking of? Sort of along the lines of what we're talking about is police and sheriffs and highway patrol, the three law enforcement agencies that might get behind you. They need to have a little green light that means, don't worry, I'm just behind you. Don't you hate when there's one behind you and they're not really following you, they just happen to be behind you?
Yeah.
So you could have it so the green light means, oh God, I don't got to worry, thank you. No light means, he's going to put the red one on soon.
Pretty soon they're going to start flashing.
So What do you think? Do you think they'd buy that?
No, they don't.
Green light to kind of ease, rest at ease. Come on, I'm just driving behind you. No big deal.
Nah, they ain't gonna do that. That's not gonna happen. Larry.
Have you ever driven with the police officer, like in a high-speed chase?
Not in a high-speed chase. I mean, I've driven with him. I've actually
in the backseat.
No, I haven't. No. Well, actually, I have driven in the backseat, but not. I wasn't in trouble. I just had to get in the back seat. There was no room in the front seat. But I've done some work for our sheriff's department and stuff. So
have you?
Yeah, and I've actually got to drive. I got to drive a big old giant fire truck one day. We put a motor in one. Big old fire trucks. Wow. That was fun driving that around.
Did you do on the road back and forth like you did with my car?
No. It was actually for E1. It was going to Saudi Arabia, and it was meeting it was getting on the boat at like 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And they were getting ready to ship it to the port, and the engine blew up. It was brand new. And the engine blew up.
Wow.
And there was 3 of us that actually stayed all night long to get this fire truck ready to be shipped, and we had it ready in the morning for them.
So you had to drive it to make sure it was working?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you gotta drive it.
Can you drive like a semi? Could you drive a semi?
Yeah, I drive. Yeah,
really?
Yeah. I mean, you don't want me to back it up too much, but I mean, I can get it down the road.
Really?
Yeah.
See, it looks like it'd be hard to get into all those gears. How many gears are they?
I don't know. You just keep shifting until you get tired of shifting.
So there's no automatic semis.
That's why I didn't want to work on airplanes, because
why?
Because you can't take them up and go test flight.
Oh, okay.
That would be. I like being able. When you work on something and something's broke and then you fix it.
Yeah.
And then you get to go drive that thing that you just fixed. It makes you feel good.
So I guess we should talk about the everyday problem. So the battery is an issue when it gets cold.
Yeah, and just keep in mind, cooler weather's coming. Make sure your cooling systems are up to par, even though we're in Florida.
Why?
Well, because it's getting cold. Hey, was there frost on your car this morning?
I think there might have been.
No, I know there was on mine.
It sounded like it when I put my windshield wipers on. It sounded different than when it's just water.
How about the visible thing? Man? Were you able to see what was in front of you, or does your car just come straight to the studio?
I could see. See, pretty good. Oh gosh, I missed a break. I told him I wouldn't miss my breaks. All right, we've got to take a break. So I told Joe I would not miss my breaks anymore, and I did. Don't tell him I did then. Okay. Maybe he's not listening. We'll be right back.
He's always listening.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Sunny to partly cloudy today and pleasant this afternoon. High 71 to 75. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Lows ranging from the 50s inland to about 64 on the coast. Tomorrow, sunshine, some clouds, and becoming warmer. There may be a shower in spots along the coast. The high tomorrow, 77 to 81. For Wednesday, more southern clouds. There can be a spotty morning shower along the coast. The high 80 to 84. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Hey, I'm Gary.
And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new
Yep,
top.
we can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
All right, 20 minutes after 10 o'clock. Matt Gibbs is here. If you have a question about your car, call it in right now, 622-9622. So this is the month of Thanksgiving, and that reminds me of the month of Christmas.
Brings us into the new year.
So I have a question for you as far as gifts. What's that stuff that protects your dashboard from getting ruined by the sun? Is that stuff good? What is that stuff called again? Armor All or something?
Yeah, Armor All is.
Does it work?
Yeah, it works.
Oh, okay.
But
what is it, like sunscreen for furniture?
Yeah.
Okay.
It blocks out all the UV rays. So
and because you've seen the dashboards that are like sprung apart.
Well, it's unfortunately some of the manufacturers used different grades of plastic. And some of them the manufacturers use a better grade of plastic than others.
Oh, okay.
And, those that are out there driving around in a Dodge pickup truck, from 97 on up, what I'm talking about. They crack, they dry out, they crack, and there's, Armor All's a decent product that you can buy, over the counter kind of product. But there are some things that there's some chemicals and stuff that work a lot better, and that are commercial grade type chemicals that they do a really good job.
Is there anything that can put a headliner back up? Once they start drooping, it feels like you're driving in a tent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Does that have to be replaced, or can you get that to go back up?
If it's the guy that does our headliners, if it's not beyond a certain point, he can fix some of them.
Really?
Yeah. And it's you don't have to replace the whole thing, but once they come unglued, they're unglued.
Nothing you can do.
No,
I tried thumbtacks one time.
Yeah, well, that'll work somewhat.
It's just so.
It works better if you have air conditioning during the summer and heat in the winter. Keep that wind from blowing on those. The material on the headliner is the material, and that little foam pad is all attached.
Yeah.
And what happens is the material, it detaches from the foam.
Right,
so the foam stays up there, and it's hard. And if you put glue on there, as soon as you put glue on it and put it back up to the foam, the glue kind of comes right through the material, and it makes a mess and looks yucky.
So I want to tell you that you're right about something in my car. I told you that I had determined, what's the word? I had diagnosed that my window wasn't going up and down because of the switch. And I remember I said I found one on eBay for $50-something, and you said, well, don't get it because it might be the brushes or something.
Right.
I think you must be right, because my window works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. That doesn't seem like it would be a switch.
No, that's... It seems like...
Hey, look who's out there.
It could be a switch, Larry. It really could be. I don't like throwing stuff on cars and then, okay, let's put this part on, let's put this, until we end up fixing it.
That's the amateur's way of doing it.
Right. Yeah. And then you end up spending so much more money, and you're aggravated and all that stuff. So we just check it out and find out, okay, what's causing it.
I'll do it. I'll bring it into you, and you can look at it and make my car like new again. Either that or sell me a new one. Or a new used one. What's a good car you have? Tell me a car in your lot. Highlight one.
Well, I got a 2001. It's a little bit older car. PT Cruiser. No, it's a 2002.
Okay.
PT Cruiser, but it's only got 50,000 miles on it. I got a real nice 05 Nissan Altima with 85,000 miles on it. I got if you come over to the dealership and look at the cars, I can honestly say that all the cars out there are decent cars. I'll go to the auction. Me and Philip will go to the auction, and there might be, let's say, there's 100 cars there at the auction,
right?
And out of those 100 cars, I might pick out 2 that I really want to buy, and the reason I pick those 2 out is because they meet our pre-criteria, so to speak, until I can get it to shop and lift it up and check it all out.
Right.
And all
Do
that
they let you bring them back if that fails the second test?
They can.
Yeah.
I can arbitrate the car. If I go to the auction and buy a car and it's something isn't what it's supposed to be, then I have that right to arbitrate the car. Now I'm gonna have to prove to the arbitrator that this car, it wasn't represented correctly. There's lights at the auction. There's a green light, there's a red light, yellow light, and blue light. If I buy a car under a green light, that's telling that car is ready to ride and drive. Okay, it is a good car. If you buy a car under a red light, then that's your car. That's your baby. I don't care what's wrong with it.
Oh, really?
It's
That's
yours.
the deal. That's how it works.
So, and then there's some smaller auctions here in town that we'll go to and purchase some cars. A couple of the new car dealerships, instead of them running the cars through the auction, they have their own auction at the dealership. And so we'll go there, and I like buying cars there because they'll let me test drive them. I can run them over to the shop real quick. I can look at them, and there's a couple wholesalers that they wholesale to dealers, and so they'll let me go over there, pick up a car, bring it to the shop, check it all out, and I do my due diligence because. It's about relationship. I don't want to.
Sure.
I'm not selling a car that I don't feel comfortable with.
Right.
Because it's gonna hurt a relationship.
That's the end. Yeah, nobody goes back.
Right, and then what have I just done? I've just created a mess. So, and every car goes through the shop, and every car goes through this. I created my own. We call it a PDI. It stands for pre-delivery inspection.
Yeah.
So every car that's sold has gone through this process. And my guys come to me and say, hey, this car needs this, and this.
Yeah.
And and if I don't fix it, then I sell it I run it back through the auction.
Oh, I see.
And but I've never had to send one back to the auction yet.
David, can I ask you an etiquette question?
Yeah.
Do maybe this is a dumb question actually, but do people give tips? Like, do your mechanics ever get a tip?
Yeah.
Like the garage gets what the bill is,
yeah,
and then the customer says, "Here, this was really okay,
yeah." And we make sure that technician gets it. They're servers.
Sure.
So
it's a nice thing, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Real quickly about tire dry rot on tires. Is there anything that the cold does, or perhaps if you're driving up north and you're in how they use salt in some cases, does that accelerate the dry rot?
I don't believe it does.
No.
The tires have what they call a Julian date, a date that they were manufactured. It's on every single tire, and just like anything rubber, hoses, belts, tires, it has a shelf life, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's just real important. If a tire looks good, but let's say it's 9 years old, I would question.
Chances are it's going to be falling apart, right?
Just like one of our customers had to go pick up a trailer that he's had sitting at a campsite for a while. He went over there, and by the time they got 30 miles down the road, they done blowed out 3 tires. And all the tires looked good.
Oh, man.
But 3 of them actually came apart, and they had to get roadside assistance come out and do it on the side of the road, and cost them $1,000.
Oh, man.
And
it's like your commercial says you have tires as well.
Yes, we have tires.
All right. Matt, it always goes too fast. I got to keep my eye on this clock. I don't want to mess up again. I have to have that chat again. They close the door.
Yeah. Larry, come into my office chat.
Matt, what's your phone number?
My phone number is 352-690-1993.
And go see Matt. Matt is our mechanic. Almost everybody here, I think everybody here is a customer of Matt's. And that's why, because we trust him. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry.
All right, we'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. It's going down to the wire in several states before Election Day. And Iowa, Joni Ernst running for Senate against Democrat Bruce Bradley tells Fox News.
They want a new direction for America and taking back this seat.